MAGNA is a huge industry supplier for just about everything automotive. In fact, it's this country's largest automotive supplier. But with all those parts, MAGNA doesn't build any of its own vehicles. Well, you really can't drive a MAGNA, but because of MAGNA, you can drive. This is the showroom at its Troy, Michigan offices. Just off the lobby, they proudly exhibit just a few of the hundreds of parts that they produce from some of the 342 manufacturing operations in 28 countries. Along with fellow members of the Automotive Press Association, I spent a morning with MAGNA's Chief Executive Officer, Swami Kotagiri.
Regarding the May 3rd upcoming parts tariffs, at least as soon as late as May 3rd, I mean, let's say we have the 25% vehicle tariff and the 25% parts tariff hits, what does that do to the industry?
Yeah.
Will it shut down? Or, I mean, will we have the part shortages? I mean, how are you looking at that scenario if these continue?
I wish I could give you a clean scenario, but I can't, right? Because of what you just explained. If you look at the complexity of the value chain and adding up or stacking all the tariffs when it all becomes clear, I think, I believe it is untenable in the long run for the industry to manage that. If there is a roadmap to say, here's a clear objective of what we are trying to achieve in this time period, I'm sure the industry will respond and can get there, but I really don't see how you can mitigate the substantive short-term pain that it's going to bring.
Is it more so akin to 08, 09, or is it more so akin to the chip crisis and COVID? I mean, how do those past events that we've had to deal with compare to the current situation?
Yeah, I think in one of the interviews or comments in the past I said it kind of feels like all rolled into one. Because if you look at the 2008, 2009, because of the financial conditions, higher interest rates, affordability, people not buying cars led to demand destruction. And we just talked a few minutes ago of possible demand destruction, right? And if you get to the COVID, it was a shutdown, right, of a certain period of time. And chip crisis was all about balancing different models, a lot of start-stops. And if you see the announcement, even in the last few weeks, there is announcements of 5 or 6 OEM plants being shut down already for a week or 2 weeks and so on. And I think that's just the beginning, right? And if you take in what's happening with China and what the supply chain could be, with whatever the % of tariff is, that's the reason why I say, I'm not being dramatic when I say it all kind of feels like all rolled into one, right? It's demand destruction, affordability of vehicles, interest rates, on top of that, the supply chain disruptions, right? So it's a really complex situation. And if somebody has a great scenario planning for this, I'd like to know.
And then there's really the overall question about the status of current relationships between suppliers like MAGNA and the auto manufacturers. Kotagiri had this simple advice.
I think navigating uncertainty and finding solutions together is really not an option. We have to find a way. And the automotive industry is just too crucial in the big picture for the global economy, and we have to work together, focusing on more accurate planning, accurate forecasting, thinking in systems, and investing in features where consumers really care. We have to really think with the mindset of sharing the investment burden rather than everybody trying to do everything.